if you don't have a marketing funnel and why your online business needs at least one well-constructed marketing funnel to succeed. And over time, as you become more comfortable, you'll build more than one funnel, because to build a sustainable, scalable business, you're going to have to let's think about arms and legs. Let's think about, you're not going to be able to do just one channel and necessarily do very much. So you're going to want to learn about this marketing funnel thing, because it's going to be something you're going to do often. So the second thing that we're going to talk about are, what are the elements of a credible front offer? And then we're also going to talk about the 5 specific elements that are included in a marketing funnel that goes from a front end to a high-end offer in the back. And I will say that this was some stuff that I got early on, and so I hope it's going to have value for you. And the reason is, when you have a marketing funnel, marketing becomes a piece of cake. Now, the fact is that most people who set up businesses online won't make money unless they are doing it as a backup for a bricks and mortar business. And I think it's the same reason as the folks who have a treadmill don't lose any weight, because they actually walk past the treadmill with the dry cleaning hung over the side of it, right, instead of using. So the other thing is, like, you can have all the information in the world, and if you're worried about taking a step or afraid to take a step, your progress is going to be really slow. And with the internet, that will work against you. So I know all this stuff is probably self-evident, but I think it's important. So for everyone who is still with me, and I hope that's the majority of you, let's get into why crafting a sound marketing funnel is a piece of cake. Now, I hope to blow your hair back today with a lot of actionable content. Again, I'm going to reiterate, this is really, having a business online involves work, and it should also provide real value for real people. So it's my hope that everyone will have results that make it possible to work at home like I do. And I also hope that everyone actually would do better than I do. And, it's kind of fun to be part of the energy that's making that happen with and for other people. So we're going to be interactive, not because I think being interactive on a webinar is so cool, but I do want to find out what's going on for you. And that way I will be better able to address what it is that you're seeking today. So would you just give me a yes in the chat box if that's okay with you, and feel free to jump in and let us know where you're from, and then we will again have questions at the end of the presentation. So this is the time to focus and turn off any distractions. There will be access to a recording of the presentation. It's going to be included as a bonus in the FunnelCake program. However, there won't be a replay. So listen up and stay present to get the full benefit of all that I really want to give to you today. And I just would love you to save your questions, take notes, and then we'll figure it out at the end. Deb is here. She's tracking questions that come up, and we will go over them before we finish. So the other thing is, for right now, there will be an offer at the end of this presentation, but don't worry about that now. We've got more than an hour together, and I'm going to give you everything I can in this time. And at the end of the content, I'll show you how to get more help if you want it from me. Is that okay? Give me a yeah in the chat box if it sounds like that will work for you. So just put the cards away. Don't worry about the cards right now. Here's a question I have for you, and we're going to have a couple of questions that I'm going to ask you before you get to ask me questions. Do any of you here right now feel like you have an awesome idea for an online business? And let me ask you, have any of you been at it for a while, but you're still not at break even with your online business, so it's a bit of a rocky start? Are you confident that you are in a market or niche where there are lots of buyers for what you're offering? Are you still a little bit confused about how to run your online business? I know that coming into it, when I came into it, the learning curve was steep, and I really had to spend some time getting very familiar with how my computer interacted with the internet. Or maybe you're feeling frustrated because you've already started an online business, but nothing really is happening yet. It's been a couple of years and maybe even a few $1,000s later with not much to show for your investment and effort. And this one, I think this next one is really kind of a big one. And it's true for a lot of the people that I work with. Do you find selling off-putting? So instead of selling, you're giving away your best content with no money-making marketing strategy. And this is another one to think about carefully. Are you trying to sell personal transformation in the areas of health, relationships, or financial abundance, but nobody's buying? If you've answered yes to one or all of these questions, well, I can help you with this one problem. I know thinking about these questions may feel overwhelming, but we're really talking about just one problem here, one fundamental problem. And you will be able to solve that problem with what I can teach you as long as you're ready to take action and do the work involved. So if this sounds good, give me a yes in the chat box, and we're going to dig in a little deeper. So you may be joining this event because you have a sense it's time to take a step back to gain some perspective on what's working and what isn't working in your online business yet. And you may have realized that you've been spending a lot of money on accessories instead of investing in yourself and in your business. And you can nickel and dime yourself and derail everything. So shiny object syndrome or coach hopping is actually one of the biggest obstacles to coming to the realization that you need a marketing funnel, but that you still don't have one, or that you have a marketing funnel that needs testing and adjustment. Now, understand that I have spent a lot of money on accessories for my business, and I've also had more than one coach since I started out. So I understand that there's value in these things. But what I have seen happen and what I experienced myself was the reason I did the Lucy video for the promo for FunnelCake was because I found what I was doing was I was icing the cake pan when there was no cake there. And I thought that was such a great metaphor for what happens when you don't have a marketing funnel, but you're spending time and you're spending money. And the cake pan looks great with icing on it, but it's really pretty well useless and not the idea of having a cake to eat. So I think it's really important to think about coaching and to really implement coaching recommendations that come your way and really put them into action before you transition to another coach. I think that's a very sensible way to go about it. And I've been fortunate enough to kind of figure that out. And I've got great coaches now, but with each new phase of my business that I entered, I finished up what I needed to finish with a coach before I moved on. Now, you may be joining in this event because you've started to create your own products and programs, and you're ready to craft a marketing plan and a funnel, and you're ready to build a technical bridge that will implement your funnel in an automated way. Does any of this sound familiar to you? It probably will. So even this, having made this much progress, can frustrate you because you become confused about which path to take, and it can impact your cash flow, and it can cause issues. So it can be really a bit rough going. You get off on a rocky start, it's a bit rough going, and I really love it when I'm working with people, and we can feel it when the moment comes when you just start to get traction and lift off, and you start to really head out there with some momentum. And again, whatever these issues are, I should be able to help you out with some of them today. So I started out with Tech Talk Cafe as a tech coach. And what was interesting after like a year and a half of the tech coaching is that I discovered there were three things that were holding my clients back from sharing their experience, their expertise, and wisdom in ways that were in balance when it comes to sharing and receiving. Notice I didn't say giving and receiving. I said sharing and receiving. And it's surprising to people. You know, this little slide has a lot of importance. And the number one thing that can hold you back is fear. And sometimes that's just fear of selling. Sometimes it's fear of technology. Every now and then it might be fear of failure, maybe not big failure, but the kind of little dings that happen to you along the way. And sometimes it's fear of the change that will accompany success. And there are changes that happen. So those, number one is fear. The number two thing that can hold you back is a disconnect between what you want to offer, your passion, what really floats your boat, and knowing who your buyers are and how to connect them through your marketing funnel. And you've got to connect. What you want to offer and what they want to buy has to connect. And the number three thing that can hold you back is not having a marketing funnel to support your business model or concept. And this usually results in people not making a commitment to benefit from your expertise or not being willing to pay you well because they can intuitively sense that there's a hole in your business and they're probably going to end up with their foot in it. So this may actually surprise you, but the techie bits, building the technical bridge between a marketing funnel and your marketplace, actually comes more towards the end, not at the beginning of your efforts. And by this I mean, until you have a marketing funnel worked out, do you really need a website? Do you need to pay for a website that's not going to get any traffic? Do you need to pay monthly fees for an email service provider when you don't yet understand what messages to write to your list and in what order? And if you're paying for those resources before your marketing funnel is worked out, once again, you're going to be wasting more time and money. And where you want to put that money when you do have a marketing funnel is into traffic. And a lot of people miss this point. The first point is that you're missing the funnel. And then once you have the funnel, you've got to get traffic. And you're going to have to pay for that. Now, again, I can provide solutions for these issues. I've been here myself. And I've had clients that, and I was lucky because I was making money from the start. Yet, like some of my clients, I could really feel that something was missing. And I kept feeling around the edges of it, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And, you know, it was really interesting. But the first coach that I had online was very, very good about talking about how to live your passion and all that. But he really didn't go into how to build a funnel. So your online business impacts two worlds. It impacts your personal world and everyone who's part of that, as well as the outside business world. So if your online business is working suboptimally, you're not sharing your gifts, your talents, your value with the world. And when your business is operating suboptimally, not only do you not have the greatest impact in the world that you want to have, but this can also show up in our personal lives. Our families may be affected negatively, our finances, our health, our self-esteem, these are impacted too. And these are problems that I had when I started out. So if you have been finding that making money with your business idea online is overwhelmingly complicated or difficult, even though everyone says it's easy, I know how you feel because I felt this way too. I felt like there was an invisible fence between my goals and the success I knew was possible. So now if you're standing on one side of this invisible fence wondering what you're doing wrong, and you see happy laughing people on the other side of this fence meeting their goals, living their intention, and living as they choose, then we are on a journey together because we both are like wondering like what the heck is going on. So before my recent success online, and I'm still a relative new, but it's only been a couple of years. I was a publicity and marketing manager for a major U.S. publishing firm, and I was hired for this position right after enjoying what was absolutely one of the best things that ever happened to me in my life when I became part of the campaign staff for Congressman Bernie Sanders. Now, he became a senator, And he's now running for president in 2016, in case you're not familiar with him. So, I saw him recently in Philadelphia, and I gave him an enormous hug. He was doing an event, and I was just like, oh, Bernie, I'm so proud of you. And I know I made a direct contribution to this outcome that he's running for president today, because I personally invested everything I had to help him succeed. So after running around the state of Vermont and organizing volunteers and loading lawn signs in and out of my Volvo and knocking on thousands of doors, I was ready to sit down for a bit, And the publishing job came with health insurance and great benefits, so why not? But the editor of our small imprimatur subsidiary of the New York Fifth Avenue Corporation, this guy both wanted and yet resisted the changes our little publishing house needed to make if we were going to last. Amazon was on the rise. Borders, does anybody here remember Borders? Borders was one of our biggest buyers, and it was going under. And the publishing industry was seasick. So I felt our company clock running out of time, and my boss just thought getting lists of books up online, and our authors too, wasn't worth investing in an updated website or hiring an online graphics expert to help us move forward. He was all about newspapers, radio, and television. And he had 25 years of book publishing experience to my I was brand new newbie, but I knew what had worked in terms of working online, working in Senator Sanders' campaign. So it ended up that my expertise wasn't valued. And I began to think that my boss had probably only hired me to satisfy some younger and more important muckety-muck in the Fifth Avenue office. Well, then the recession hit with a 1-2 punch. I was laid off. I was laid off with a severance package, which was nice. But my plan B backfired because the housing market tanked. So my freshly printed real estate license in the second home market in Vermont was a joke. The intervening couple of years was horrible. I eventually gave up a home I loved in Vermont to move back to the city where I grew up, and sending resumes all day. I just needed a little stress relief. So I started playing around on the computer at night, following the trail that I'd been on at the publishing house. And I was still in contact with a few of our authors, and one of them turned me on to Wix, a drag and drop website building platform, which you may have tried or used or know about. And the rest is history for me. So in between the layoff and starting Tech Talk Cafe, I was broke. Oh, there goes a siren in my neighborhood. My car was repossessed for missing one car payment, and the scramble to catch up to get my car payments caught up and out of the impound lot was unbelievably embarrassing. I had to go hat in hand to relatives and friends. And this stressed me out so much that I just began volunteering at my church to keep from hitting despair. And the church needed help with their database, which led to members of the church, writers and consultants, paying me to help them make better use of their WordPress websites. And soon there was enough of this action to help with food and gas. And a series of temp jobs held the essential bits together while I lived at my mom's house. Okay, I'm a grown woman. Been married, kid. I'm sleeping on my mother's living room couch. This is really painful. And falling into this was a terrible shock. But the growth that came from these circumstances, while it was challenging, I will tell you, has been fabulous. Now, before this all happened, I had been privileged to travel the world. I'd run a 2-year hands-on healing program in the Seattle area. I mentored students from around the world. I helped clients with life-threatening health challenges. I trained international volunteers in using energy healing in hospital settings. And I gave up this demanding but wonderfully rewarding life after the unexpected death of my lover. I just didn't have the heart to manage the schedule, bopping around and all the stress without him. Well, that was a big enough bump to get over. Well, 15 years later, I'm finding I have to completely reinvent myself to build a new and stable life. This was not fun. And so I know that some of the people that are interested in what I do and some of my clients We are women on our own, and boy, I'll tell you, you got to really keep an eye out for what's going on in your future. Well, in 2012, the idea for Tech Talk Cooperative and Tech Talk Cafe came along and kind of saved me. It was a place where I could put 75% of my skills to use, and I'm a girl geek, what can I tell you? And then eventually other consulting projects eventually financed moving into my own apartment. I'm near my family, and right now, what's going on with me, it feels like heaven. I'm so happy. So that's my story. Now we're going to find out about you. So, are you a life coach or a well-being service provider? If you are, put a yes in the chat box. Maybe you're a yoga instructor, maybe a chiropractor or a healer. Then crafting a marketing funnel for your business is going to require some unique features. The fundamentals will be the same, but there are some things on the surface that will be different. Are you interested in internet marketing? Is that your niche? Then crafting a marketing funnel for that kind of business will also have unique features. But let's talk about why you need a marketing funnel. So I'm going to share a story with you. This is a chiropractor story. Well, after sustaining a back injury in 2013, my family friend and chiropractor Bob showed up at my house with a portable treatment table in the trunk of his car, and he set his table up in my living room, and he carefully examined my spine, and he's so gentle, located every single painful hot spot without having to tell him where they were, and then he made his adjustments, and I felt instantaneous relief. Bob made 3 more house calls, and I got back on my feet. I still have some chronic issues, but I'll tell you, I couldn't get up, I couldn't walk. Well, here's the thing, Bob doesn't have an office anymore. He closed his office because he didn't have enough patients to pay the bills and his staff. Bob's state certifications and licensing were about to expire, and he just could not muster the enthusiasm to try to open a new practice in another office in another part of our town. All Bob wanted to do was the chiropractic care. He's a genius at this. He's so talented. He was not interested in marketing. And his then wife really wasn't all that keen on having to handle getting his patients through the door. She had a career of her own. Well, Bob's practice folded. His wife left him, moved across the country with their teenage son. Bob went back to college to study nursing. He moved in with his parents. His dream now is to become a school nurse in a school system that's laying off peripheral staff. There's no funding for these people. And Bob is now looking at a future where he may never again have full-time work or the means to live independently or to visit his son across the country as often as he would like. Now, listen to this. Bob was a certified licensed chiropractor. This is a tried and true business model. But what he didn't have for his business was a marketing strategy and a funnel. So, the music in your heart can come to life in your business, but you gotta kind of figure out how to do that. So let's talk about the marketing funnel that might have saved Bob's practice, maybe even prevented the breakup of his family and his son now living a plane ride away. So this is what a marketing funnel might have looked like for Bob. He could have done live local events. He could have organized a meetup on a regular basis, given presentations at libraries. He could have collaborated with one or more yoga studios. He could have teamed up with an acupuncturist or a naturopath. He could have set up an educational bag lunch one day a week at his office. He could have offered service packages for care that were only available online. He could have offered coupons that were only available when you walked into his office. It's part of your treatment plan. He could have generated video testimonials. I would have given Bob a video testimonial in a heartbeat. He could have generated technique demos. He could have set up a YouTube channel with playlists about back pain and exercise and how you can take care of your back. He could have set up webinars on the value of chiropractic care for back pain, whiplash, work injuries, what happens to your body when you're in a car accident, even birth trauma. And he could have taught other chiropractors how to market their businesses. Now, I want to ask you, do you think that maybe some of these strategies might have brought more patients into Bob's office, and Bob might have had a little bit better of a picture of retirement to look at that he's looking at right now? So give me a yes in the chat box if you get it, that these things, which we can all do, we can do them. We take the baby steps and we do the smart clicks. We can do this. And as a single woman, I will tell you that I'm looking at my own future. Like, people in my family live to be really old. And, I have 2 sons. They're not going to take care of me. So I've got to really plan for my future well. And I know that what it takes, like if you want to live in assisted living or you have to go into a skilled facility, we're talking $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month. Who's going to pay for it? So I have to be prepared to take care of myself on this level. So now let's talk about a natural funnel. And I know we've all seen pictures of the funnels where it's wide at the top and people kind of fall into the bottom and then they fall out, at the bottom somewhere. I have turned this upside down because what I think makes more sense is to craft a natural funnel where your energy and focus rises to the top. Now, a well-crafted marketing funnel will feel organic to any customer making their journey through your educational content, the opportunities that you give to interact with you, and the offers that they discover as part of your business and eventually your branding. But you need to build a funnel before you brand. Now, the bottom of an organic funnel is where lots of people flow in to check you out and see if you have a solution for their problem, or if you're going to help them find the fulfillment of a desire that's really, really upfront for them. But fewer and fewer people will make the journey all the way to the top of your funnel, to the focused, concentrated energy of your best offers. And depending on what kind of business model you have, that could be a one-to-one service. In the coaching paradigm, it might be a mastermind group, or in the web design development consulting, it might be really high-level consulting where people really pay you very, very well to have abundant access to you and your expertise. So what is it like to be you right now? And what would it feel like to be you a year from now, 5 years from now, if you build a sustainable, successful online business? What would you be free to change in your life that you are not free to change today? And how would you be bringing the music of your heart into your online business and having a really good time doing this work? I love what I do. I'm so excited to get up every day and do this work. You can ask Deb. Deb is my witness. And what new people might you meet? Where would you meet them? And just imagine what it would feel like to have a global network to touch base with, right? New friends, new colleagues, and new co-creators to work with you. Everybody doing what they want to do to change the world. So let's turn your thinking about selling upside down. Now, I don't know if any of you have heard of Rich Schefren, but he's one of the most well-known internet gurus, and this is his assertion. Marketing makes selling unnecessary. And Rich blew open the internet marketing arena with this approach. And he's pretty much single-handedly responsible for what we now call education-based marketing, which is what most of us are trying to do, and we need to do it really well, and we need to do a lot of it. Rich also has had tremendous success offline in bricks and mortar business models, from clothing stores to walk-in hypnotherapy clinics. So this is the one takeaway I want to make sure you grab hold of from this event. If you're going to only take away one, let it be this one. Marketing makes selling unnecessary. Now, it takes 7 to 10 touch points to build a sense of connection, respect, likability, and trust with the people that you are here to help the most. Now think about what happens in your family, in your friendships. How many times do you share your absolute wholehearted having a friend's best interests in mind before he or she trusts you enough to include your input in a decision that they make? How many times have you yourself actually accepted this kind of input from someone you know? You have to feel like they really are on your side and they really have your best interest at heart. So a marketing funnel consists of well-designed, well-crafted touch points, and the information in these touch points is assembled to hit a point of resonance in your prospects. You really need to get this. You have to resonate with them, right? It's got to, the energy on the planet is changing, and the old ways of doing things are not working anymore. So this is another takeaway for you. So if you're a chiropractor, as we talked about with Bob, one touch point might be an open house at your office for your community, where you give a presentation on the value of chiropractic care for everyday pain issues that many of us have. A second touch point at that open house would be invite people to take the next step with you by getting to know which chiropractic techniques you use and why. Or it could be to offer back pain sufferers a discounted first consultation. The third touch point might be the in-office experience, where your potential customer gets to see how it feels to be in your office. And do they find it appealing? Is your staff friendly and helpful? Are there educational pamphlets available to further inform them on specifics of chiropractic care? And a fourth touch point might be a video explaining how your office functions and introducing your team. And another touch point might be also to disclose that you're open to referrals and that you reward patients who refer patients. So marketing your business, and you as a chiropractor, you need to hit the points of resonance several times that reassure your potential patients that they are in good hands and that they will continue to be in good hands when they join your circle of self-care. And so you can see how marketing and selling are related, but the marketing has got to come first. Now here's another takeaway for you. You can successfully sell, but typically selling involves one-off transactions with the hope of repeat business because of proximity or some fabulously unique feature of your business. Like nobody can get it anywhere else. Well, there's a cobbler who lives not too far from where I live, and he's amazing. I generally only have shoes in need of repair maybe once a year. And he's been in business, this guy's been in business for 30 years, and I tell you, I dread hearing the news that he's retiring. His business is in a great location, and he's got proximity to thousands of one-off sales, and that has worked for him. Now, he also has a marketing funnel at work when you walk into his shop. He sells leather conditioner, water repellent treatments, and shoelaces. And I had the pleasure of being at the top of his funnel. I brought in a beloved Italian leather bag, a kind of a deep olive green, but it had a torn strap. It'd been in a lot of my travels with me, and I just couldn't bear to throw it away. This cobbler dyed leather to match my bag. And when I picked it up, I couldn't tell which strap had been broken. Do you think I send people to his shop? You bet I do. I had been sent to his shop by a friend. So his marketing is a fantastic word-of-mouth network. And you can also do this online, but the way that you do it is different. So this cobbler doesn't really have to sell anything. People come into his store fully prepared and delighted to pay for his expertise and service. So that's the difference between marketing and selling. So let's talk about confidence. So the barrier, if fear of selling is a barrier, well, now we've turned that process on its head, because you can start marketing and stop selling. So poof, that's one fear issue that you can get over very quickly. Now, two things can happen next. One is to actually create a product based on the research you're going to do. And you don't have to solve all the world's problems in one go. I want you to think one problem, one solution. Don't overload yourself or anyone else. One problem, one solution. Now, the second option is if you've already created your product, then it's time to sit down, whatever notebook or however you want to do this, journal, get some colored pens in hand, and you need to map out your first lead magnet and opt-in page. And it's going to take you time to work out your snappy, convincing copy. But this is where you want to start. This is square one, step one. Now, this is her. She's on her journey, and I hope that she's like, I got a wink. I can figure this out. I can do this. She's out taking a walk before she does her, creative work. Now, the next thing I would like you to do is think about how you center yourself when you're creating your marketing funnel. I am a believer in the power of visualization meditation. So I do think it's important to take a few minutes to go for a walk and choose whatever form of relaxation supports your creative flow. Think about the people whose lives you want to impact. Imagine them using your product, program, or service. Imagine them talking to you, chatting with you, emailing with you, becoming your friends while they're benefiting from what you create. Imagine them feeling excited and maybe thinking about you with a smile and glad that you have offered them the valuable bit of assistance that they needed. So you want to breathe in your feminine receptivity, acknowledge that you're an expert, become even more of an expert. And, the one thing that matters to more than a few people is the thing that you're going to land on because you know about it. And it doesn't mean becoming some snooty, fancy, Nancy know-it-all. It's about lending people your confidence in the topic in which you could talk about for hours, write at least one book about, teach in your sleep, and never tire about thinking or learning from. We know this, it's a passion. So feel the receptive energy that is fundamental to sharing your expertise. Let yourself feel the feminine flow of being open to sharing, not giving away yourself, not giving away your stuff, open to sharing. And shift your thinking to sharing your knowledge rather than giving away what you know. I love this slide. Now, these two birds for me symbolize the balance between sharing and receiving. When we share with others, we very seldom do this from a place of superiority. We're excited, we're enthusiastic, we're enjoying mutual generosity, and we're feeling ourselves expand in the process. And we can feel this balance in our lives, in our bodies, in the way we see the world, in our relationships, and it feels great. It's the kind of excitement that you had from the time you were a little kid. Now, you also are going to have to reach into the part of yourself that's a doer, whatever that doing may be. I love cleaning house. It's a source of instant gratification for me that lasts about a week. And the cleaning house isn't everyone's thing. Some people love to garden, some people like to fix cars, some people build houses, knit sweaters, and so on. But everyone has a part of him or herself who's an inspired doer. Now, doing is a masculine energy dynamic, and in my view, there's a really profound imbalance online. And I'd like to see more women becoming super successful. We need more Ariana Huffingtons. And that being said, let yourself feel the power and charge with which you can get the task of building your marketing funnel completed. All right, so now we're going to go into the nitty-gritty. So where are you going to start? You're going to start with doing simple research. And there is no place better for research than on the internet. So you're going to take a fair amount of time to do some simple research online, and I go into this in the program and explain how you do this and what you look for and how you get going on this. You want to explore all the possible places where your potential customers and clients are hanging out online. And Bing and Google can help you find these gathering places. There are forums and blogs and newsletters and magazines, and gosh knows there are Facebook pages and Google communities. Anywhere where people can leave comments and interact, you can too. And you're going to join in. You're going to ask questions in these places. You're going to answer questions. You're going to be helpful if there's an opportunity to share what you know in a way that makes a contribution, right? You're marketing, you're not selling. And you see what kind of responses, if any, come your way. So you're going to take on the task of online research as an exploration. It's going to take some time, but it is time well spent. Who you are looking for is whoever is expressing frustration about a particular problem, who is struggling to learn more about the topic that you're an expert in, and you only need to be 2 steps ahead of them. You don't need to be years ahead of them or degrees ahead of them. You only need to know more than they do, and you're on your own learning journey as well. So you can take the time to look on YouTube, do research for your topic, and notice which videos are in the search results. If there's a business behind a video in your niche, check whether this company or brand is listed on page 1 of Google's results. This may be your introduction to your competition. And notice how many views, likes, shares, how many videos, and then watch them. And learn from how your competition is marketing to the same group of people you are. So this is niche research. You're going to look for, so for instance, if you were going to offer information about how natural foods can impact the issue of being diabetic or being pre-diabetic, you're going to go and look for information online to help you build your marketing funnel and to think about what pieces are there in other people's marketing funnels and whether you want to do similar, the same, different. What's your unique point that you have to give to people? Okay, so niche research is important. All right, back to the problem solution. So actually, I would like you to do this. I'd like you, if you can, if you're prepared, I'd like you to write a single short sentence about your product or service and why it's useful. Not how it's useful, why it's useful. And we'll get into the how in a bit. But I want you to understand that the why is useful is a benefit. And how a program or service is useful is a feature. So you can take this away as an assignment. You can work this out, and you're going to go home in your own quiet space and make a list of the benefits of what you offer and the benefits of your business. And then make a separate list of the features. And write a sentence that describes the why, and write at least one sentence that offers the how to a prospect. Now, in this webinar so far, you have seen me explain the why of a marketing funnel. The biggest benefit being that of making more sales. And I've also showed you the how of a marketing funnel. I'm showing it to you right now, what the elements are and how they fit together to communicate information that generates the key touch points that will clearly resonate with your ideal customer. So now we're going to talk about lead magnets. So the first category of the lead magnet is the freemium, also called the ethical bribe. This could be video training, a course sample, an ebook, a report, a guide, a recipe, an audio track, even a downloaded image. And first, what you want to do is you want to introduce you, and then you want to establish your product's unique personality that is a little bit further extension of you. And then share a bit of your story. Share a breakthrough moment for you or a client, or a breakthrough moment in your business or your industry, and let people know that you are familiar with where they are right now, where they would like to go, why they would like to go there, and how they have tried things in the past. It wasn't quite the right solution, but how they should consider your solution being an improvement on most of what's been available in the marketplace. Remember, you want to connect, and if possible, create a single 10-second feeling of resonance and recognition. Like, wow, this person gets me. This person knows how I feel. This person's been through it. Maybe they really can make a difference here. And you do this by leading up to the promise of the benefit. Your marketing funnel is about the promise of benefits, and the freemium is the first promise that you make. Now, this is your marketplace, right? These are the people who are online, man. You know, this is Regent Street in London, but these are your folks. You got to find your people. And now we want to introduce your freemium or your ethical bribe to this online marketplace. They're all, look at them. They're on their cell phones. They're going to go home. They're going to be on their cell phones. If they're not on them right now, try not to walk into a street lamp. This is your opportunity to mention your product and you have you want to give a visual presentation like a box shot if you've got a software, or e-cover if you're writing a book. And you want to then write a short paragraph on your lead magnet explaining with little bullet points what the benefits are, and then you want to include the features, how you deliver those benefits. So for example, a photo of a finished dish if you're offering a recipe, and then information about the recipe that is unique and impactful. It's just that simple. So this is the visual representation of what your lead magnet is going to do. You've got ideas on the left. You're introducing them to people. Maybe you've written a little guidebook or a report. You've got a way to communicate with people. And once you build your first lead magnet, that's the point when you want to set up your email autoresponder service. Really not before. But you need to do this at this point because your lead magnet will collect email addresses for you, and then you're going to need to put those into your list that you'll build in your email autoresponder. So this is the beginning of it. You know, we've all done it. Fill in your email details and click submit for instant access. So now this is what it looks like after you've collected those emails. And you sending out a email with a thank you. You're building your list. People are entering at that base of your funnel and checking out whether or not you delivered on your promise of a benefit. And if you have, great. Then you have begun to build trust. And if you haven't, then you have to take that feedback of there being no takers, and you've got to go back to your freemium drawing board and work on it again. You'll get there. It takes, you know, as my coach says to me, you know, fail forward fast, okay? Now, don't dwell on what doesn't work. Don't dwell on it. Figure it out. Talk to some people. This is why coaching is important. And then change it and move on as quickly as possible. So what you're doing when you're giving the promise, you're offering the promise of a benefit, is you're presenting new horizons to your contacts. Your list of emails is the asset that you use to move traffic to your front-end offer, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, before connecting the next funnel element, your front-end offer, you do need to be set up with your email system automated, because you need to write an email that you can use as a sales page with a link. Until you start learning how to use lead pages and optimize press or hire someone to do that, do you know you can write a fabulous email, include a link that's in your website where your content's loaded up, and bam, that's your sales page, as long as you have a button set up in PayPal with a link. That's it. That's all you need to get started. But you need to be able to write these emails, include a link. Then you need to write a second email that provides the link with a thank you. And now with your first simple funnel, you're all set up. It really only takes 2 emails. So the email is about funnel element 1. You made a lead magnet and you've gotten the email addresses in return. And your email, funnel element 2, is your front end offer. And this is where you begin to share information or services in exchange for money. So once a person is opted into your list and you have delivered on your promise of a benefit, you can test the water to see if the individuals now on your list want to come up in your funnel a step by offering them a low barrier with a price point anywhere from $7 to $27. Generally, this is generally, there are exceptions to this, of course, but it's going to depend on your market. So a 3-video course on the art of decoupage might be attractive at $7, while a 3-video mini course about improving your golf swing might be attractive at $67. So you gotta, this is why the research is important, because you don't want to price yourself out of the market by being too low, not valued, too high, nobody can touch you. What are you doing with your promise of a benefit? You're providing motivation. And so the objective with the next element in your funnel is to motivate your list to open your emails and take you up on additional and related offers, and that means paying for stuff that you're going to make to them. And this is an understood and implicit relationship. How much, how expensive, how often is determined by your niche and hopefully by your good judgment. Don't ignore your list for months And also, please, God, don't email them 3 times a day unless you're doing a launch or you're holding a webinar and you're just reminding them. I once signed up for, the woman did a wonderful presentation. This was a couple years ago. And very dynamic. Does a lot of selling from the stage, and what she was doing was selling. And I signed up for her list. The woman sent me 2 emails every single day. Did I ask me if I unsubscribed? You don't want to do that. But you do want to check how many people are opening your emails in the 24-hour period after you send. You want to check if they're clicking through your email calls to action. You want to pay attention to the open rates for all your messages, because this information provides excellent feedback as you're improving your writing skills, your subject lines, how you handle the content topic, and perceived value of what you're offering. Now, as I said, an email can be a sales page as long as you include a call to action and a link to PayPal or Stripe. And you really only need, maximum 3 web pages. There are people who are making 4, 5, 6-figure incomes online with just 3 web pages. So you could have an upsell in your funnel. That would take a 4th page, but you really only need the 3 to get started. A sales page, an order page, a delivery, thank you page, and this can all be in the members area of your WordPress site, and it's easy to set up. Now I'm going to take a swig of water, and while I'm doing that, if you've got any questions based on what I've been telling you so far, this is probably a good time to pop them into the chat box so that we can kind of put them all together when we get to the end of the presentation. So 3 pages. You can make a lot of money, and you can scale your business, and you can at the very least bank a little more buck for your retirement. And when a person on your list buys from you, every time they buy from you, they have to enter their email details again, because you are building a buyer's list. And the buyers move from your general opt-in list to a list that's specific to the item that they purchased from you, because this is how you really can speak directly and clearly to people and make offers to them that are relevant to them. And this is known as segmenting your list. And you don't have to worry about making an upsell offer right out of the gate unless you're operating in internet marketing niche. And even then, there are 2 schools of thought around the when and the why and how of an upsell offer. And there's much more I could explain to you about this, but I won't go into it on this particular event. So now we go to the next step in your funnel, which is premium priced offers. Now, there are marketing funnels in ClickBank that consist of a lead magnet squeeze page to collect an email address, an offer page, and a here you go page, and that's it. And one example of this I found was really funny. When I was doing my research, I found an offer that explained how to get rid of bed bugs without using pesticides. Oh my God. I think it cost $13. It was a hugely successful affiliate product, and I actually didn't want to think about it after I stumbled on it. I thought, oh my God, what a kind of crazy way, but this guy was making money. Now, it's more common to have 3 to 5 elements in your funnel, because that's what makes it possible to scale your business and then to work with leverage traffic instead of traffic that you pay for up front. And again, this is something that we can go into later on. I do talk about it a little bit in the FunnelCake program, but it's part of the coaching package that I offer. And like I said, you can get more of that later if you want it. But now let's recap. You've put together an ethical bribe or freemium. You've set up the squeeze page for this lead magnet to collect the email addresses for your general list. You have launched your email autoresponder service. You have generated a thank you page and a link to access the delivery of your freemium of your product. And you have a web page or website set up for product delivery. Now, if you're doing a Shopify store or if you're doing Etsy or eBay, then this is going to vary slightly, but you still have to have a way to get what people have bought into their hands. But this is your first simple funnel. So you spend a little time testing how your niche market responds to your freemium, and how do you find that out? Well, by spending as little as $1 a day for 2 weeks, that's 14 bucks. You can see who gives you their email via your Facebook page. or an ad that you put out on Facebook. Now, you need to know you have to have 100 likes on your Facebook fan page or business page before you can run an ad. Up to that point in time, you can run ads to get likes or to boost your posts, or you can go the organic route and build up 100 likes over time. It's a really slow process, by the way. You can set up events like a free training webinar, and this can accelerate this process because you can invite every Facebook friend to your event. And you can also create an ad to promote your event. That's you're allowed to do whether or not your page has 100 likes. Now, here's something that I have a strategy that I do on Facebook where I will spend a little bit of money on ads. I have multiple Facebook pages. I post an offer to all of the pages on which my information is possibly relevant. And today, like, marketing for this webinar, I spent 28 cents to get follow-up clicks to my website. That is really, really inexpensive, but it's a strategy. And when you work with me, I will show you how to do all that good stuff once your funnel is built. Now, my recommendation is not to spend more than 20 bucks on testing your funnel because your next step is going to be to craft a paid offer. It is better to spend money on ads for an offer and hope that it will at least pay for the exposure and the leads you will get for buyers. This is what you want to do instead of spending the $27 on the shiny object. Now, this is stuff you don't normally get on a webinar. I didn't get it, and I've been on every webinar known to man since, I started this. And I never have seen as clear an explanation of why you need a marketing funnel or exactly how to build one when I started out. And you know what? I'm naturally intense. I'm a no stone left unturned kind of gal. So you need to know that people use webinars for selling just as much as they use them for marketing. And, the people that I really admire do both very skillfully. Now, when you're selling, like I've been on webinars where I knew I was being sold and I was prepared for that, but the information was so thin that I walked away thinking sometimes, that wasn't even really interesting and I can't do anything with that. Nobody was showing me the how. They were explaining all the benefits, but they were not giving me the features and the hows that I wanted to know. So I hope you're enjoying everything I've covered so far. And I'm going to take another sip of water and carry on because now this is where it's going to start to make sense. So again, if you have some questions, this is a good time to start passing them over to Deb. So as we moved on to premium priced offers, the pricing is anywhere from like $37 to $97, again, depending on your niche. And with medium priced offers, you are making, guess what, a bigger benefit promise. Your solution to the specific problem is more involved, you provide more details, and you may have some social proof that the benefits you promise are real and useful to your targeted buyer, and you will accumulate this on the way as you go along. Now, your benefit promise offer can then be leveraged into relationship building with other people in your niche. And it takes time and money and effort to set up a Facebook business page or fan page, but you want to be able to interact with your prospects around questions, any objections or suggestions, and that information can actually lead you to your next offer. Now, in the coaching arena, the promise of a benefit is usually tied to a personal choice to try something completely new or at least change a habit. And remember, that's important to people. For instance, a buyer might want to quit smoking, and their solution may be e-cigarettes or hypnosis or nicotine patches. There are ways that people can choose to address that problem. And each of those kinds of offers offer unique funnels that attract the poor sods who are trying to quit. And I'm an ex-smoker and I know how, and I have compassion for that process because it's a tough one. But when you can do this and offer the next benefit promise and you hang in there with people and you're providing the motivation and the encouragement and some feedback from them, then what's going to happen? Oh, hi, Mariah. There's Skype for me. Hi. Anyway, this is my new Windows 10. It just pops up messages. Anyway, so sorry for that little Bing, but there you go. Now, what you're going to do in your next funnel step is you're going to think about, well, what do I really want to give people at the top of my funnel? What's my best? What's the best that I have? And this next step in your funnel requires more commitment, more thought, more consideration and care. And this in turn generates a higher level of commitment from your prospects or your previous buyers who are ready to go to the next step with you. They will be willing, even eager to invest more of their money to get the benefit you promised them, and you'll get paid more for the greater value offered when you deliver on that benefit promise. We go back again to the idea of diabetes. So suppose you are you're offering information about nutrition, and you're offering information about supplements. And now you're actually going to do a live event, and you actually want to take on some one-on-one clients that you feel you would love to offer them the opportunity to really bring nutrition and really good exercise and health care into their struggle to keep their diabetes under control and perhaps even eliminate the need for medication, right? That's the best you have to give. So that's really important. It requires a lot of thought and care and consideration. Now, when you reach this step in your funnel, it's because your offer has connected and it's resonating with your buyers and new prospective buyers. You know who your buyers are, you have communicated with them, and they're telling you. Like I would used to get emails like, oh, why don't you come to Germany and teach? Come on, come to Germany. We'll set it all up for you. We'll send you the money for the plane ticket. Please just come and teach us about energy healing. Please come to Germany. Well, I went, right? Because that was a great way for us to connect with something that we both really wanted to have an energy exchange over. It was fantastic. I spent a lot of years doing that kind of stuff. Now, offering your best stuff, and this is the funnel element number 4, and this is when you have built a funnel that gives people the opportunity. They want to change their lives. They want to meet you at the top of your game, at the top of your funnel. And this is where you make life-changing or business-changing or relationship-changing promises of benefits. Okay, now you're healing broken hearts, you're matchmaking, you're tracking a client loss of 100 pounds, you're getting them through a 6-figure product launch, you're getting them over a divorce, helping them make a great choice and committing to a new life partner maybe, reuniting broken families, creating bonds between parents of kids with autism and their children, helping steward excellent care of aging elders, initiating women who have been hiding their entire lives into a sisterhood of powerful women and leaders who will transform our world. This is what you're doing with your online business at the top of your game, and you're going to include some other elements in your funnel, which may eventually include live presentations. Now, so your fears are transformed in this process because you're thinking about other people and you're thinking about how you can help them. And there's nothing I have in the years that I've had that have struggled that I told you about, there is nothing that helped me more than being grateful every day for what I had and for really feeling deeply into what I had that would help somebody else. So of course, it's obvious that you can't offer what you don't have. And when you have it, you know it. And everyone else knows it too, provided you give them a way to see who you are in your glorious, delicious, exciting, wise, playful, and gently powerful fullness. And the marketing funnel is what makes it possible for people to see you and experience you this way. This is why you have to have a marketing funnel. This is why you have to have one. Okay? I've answered that question. So hopefully nobody has any doubt anymore why they need a marketing funnel, and that they understand the difference between the marketing funnel and having a great idea for a business and a good business model. So now you're going to offer element 5 in your funnel, and this is a full-on energy exchange in addition to a monetary exchange, and you're about to become a mentor, and this is group work, and this is individual work, and it probably involves really profound inner and outer transformation. That could be in a leadership culture, in a business culture. There are all kinds of ways in which this expresses. And this is what you're giving to people. You're saying, you know what? You don't even have to look back because you're not going that way. We're going forward this way together. And this is where your premium services, or your mastermind, if you're in coaching, this is where this will come into play. This is where you choose to activate your clients, because now you have clients who are giving you permission to activate them into being and doing and having their best life experience. And you can choose to activate your clients energetically in groups or on a one-to-one basis. And do not doubt for a second that the energy of your best gets transmitted in a phone call, in a Skype session, and in an email. It absolutely does. And this is where offering live events to spend time in your energy field without knocking you down or burning you out is one of the best ways to serve your clients and to take care of yourself in the material world as well. So this is really the high level stuff. And as you're building this along the way and you're gaining confidence and your message is becoming clearer and you're ready to take that step, the road will come up to meet your feet on this. And you're going to get paid because this is valuable, this kind of relationship building, and you're sharing who you are and really making sure that the people that you're interacting with are getting not only the best of you, but the best of them. So I hope I've demonstrated to you why it's important to have a marketing funnel and how to approach crafting the first marketing funnel and going forward and transforming your business. And we've addressed some of the fears and limitations. I've broken down the actual physical elements of your funnel, and we haven't even talked about technology, right? Nobody got had. All that stuff comes later. You know, the pages and all that comes later, and it comes baby step by baby step. But first, you have to have your funnel. So now you can understand that. Why my saying that slide was the technical bridge to support your funnel happens after you craft the elements. The technology is there to support your clarity, quality of communication, and the value of the content that delivers on the promises of benefits to your buyers, your prospects, your clients, your mentees, and the people who will become your friends. You are here for a purpose. Remember that. And if anybody, like, I don't know, when I was working for Bernie Sanders, if I had a flash of, I don't know what, some kind of intuition that I would be doing what I'm doing right now, I would have said, well, how in the world would that happen? But all of who I am is focused now in this work, and my purpose for being here is to help all the people that want to change the world we are in, and it really needs transformation right now. We know this, and I'm here for that purpose. And it's wonderful for me. I get up excited every day knowing that that's part of what I'm doing. So once you can see, you build your funnel, the emails become easier to write, the automated messages begin to make sense, copywriting becomes less of a struggle, video marketing, if you want to do it, will become easier. Hosting your own webinars will also be something that you can and will do if you want to, and pricing is no longer an issue. So part of this, because you've got to get over your fear of, you may find that you get over your fear of selling, but you're like, well, I don't know who I am. I need to find my new money paradigm. And if that's going on for you, you're probably, and you're doing life coaching or energy work, and you're really thinking about how you're going to be in relationship with money online and your money paradigm, you're probably operating what I call a new dimensions business. And I actually have a separate little course, and I don't know, maybe I'll throw that in as a bonus for the FunnelCake program, because it's really interesting to make that distinction. So, you're crafting a marketing funnel, you're taking the time to listen to your inner voice, your inspiration, your intuition, and you ideally want to find a way to release, recharge, and regenerate every day if you can. Now, once you take this opportunity for yourself and you fulfill your clear, loving intention, the road will find you, and you will transition out of the spell of instant gratification that's based on something that doesn't really meet your needs to the mastery or nearly instant mastery of manifesting your life's purpose with intent. And if it's meant to unfold through your business, all the pieces will fold into place. And as I've said before, as the Irish say, the road will come up to meet your feet and things will fall into place. This week, I've had an amazing week. This is, things that I would have thought were, I kind of knew that it could happen to me, but that it sort of happened to me this week is like, oh, this is so cool. Like the road is coming up to meet my feet. So here's what you've learned, at least what I hope you've learned today. And I hope that you think I've delivered on my promise to you to explain why you need a marketing funnel and the steps you need to take to build a simple one. Remember, freemium, front offer, mid-price offer, high-end offer, premium offer, and how your email process fits into your funnel. And you've learned how technology will eventually support your funnel and not to worry about it until the right time. So I would love it if you would let me know in the chat box if this has made some sense to you. And then we're going to take a minute, do a little bit of housekeeping, and then we're going to open up for questions. So the first thing I'd like to do, everyone who registered for the webinar and who's on the webinar today gets a free copy of my FunnelCake Marketing Guide, and Deb will post this link in the chat box for you. And I also want to make sure that you get the link to my funnel building mind map. That's another gift for you today. So here again, take a screenshot if you want to. There's a lot of activity that happens around this, but this is my recipe and I wanted to make sure to share it with you. And early on, I promised that if you wanted more help building a funnel, if you want that or need that help, I would give you a chance to do that. And you can sign up for the FunnelCake course. It is an over-my-shoulder video course that takes you through these first basic steps so you can begin to feel comfortable and confident and practice and do the small steps that will take you forward. And if you take the option up and you have already gotten the FunnelCake course or you're going to pick it up today, you will also have the option to jump into my upcoming 30-day challenge in the new year. People who are enrolled in the FunnelCake course will get access to the opportunity to have me help them in 30 days build a marketing funnel and start moving forward. So that's available to you too. That'll be through a group call, and we'll check in with each other and I will help you out. Now I know you're probably thinking, will this work for me? And I think that you're going to find yourself very pleasantly surprised to get information that is going to allow you to move forward quickly and with the support that you need to get the results that you want. So what you get when you purchase the FunnelCake course, one of the bonuses is your marketing funnel mind map, which takes you through each specific step for building your marketing funnel. You also get my marketing guide as a bonus, and this information provides you with an interesting background to the history of marketing and where marketing stands today in terms of how we market our products and our services online. And you get the Build Your Back Office Smart Clicks Me program, because many of you are newbies and you're not sure how to organize the building or the crafting of your funnel and how to organize your content and how to get it out into the world. So this is a wonderful, wonderful bonus for you. And when you purchase FunnelCake today, you will get this additional over-my-shoulder video course to help you get really comfortable and well established in the online basics that are part of everyone's back office. Now, the FunnelCake course consists of 8 modules, and each of the modules has an over-my-shoulder video, and there are PDFs and audio files, and there's a text version of information that you can also read if you like. It comes with my resource recommendations embedded in each module, and then when you take up the FunnelCake course, you do get access to the 30-day challenge where I challenge you to build a first marketing funnel in 30 days or 4 weeks. And of course, you get this webinar as a bonus, and this webinar is not available to the general public. It is specifically for my clients and customers. So you get all of this, the course and the bonuses today, for only $97. So go here now, click on the link, and you'll be taken to PayPal where you can buy the course, and then you'll get a follow-up email from me inviting you to take the 30-day challenge and giving you the access to the course. So go ahead, take action now. Don't wait. We are so fast coming up onto another new year, and once again, you can expect profound and rapid changes online. So don't hesitate, because the faster we go into the future, the more quickly you can get left behind and not have the opportunity to get the traction that you want to have online with your business, because the competition for every niche is growing every day. I want to thank you for spending some time with me and watching this webinar, and I hope that you have found the information truly valuable and that you're ready to take action and start building your marketing funnel right now.